There's a lot of different packs and a lot of different equipment on the market, and every company's got their own design. Every backpacker has their own likes and dislikes. You know, maybe you have a certain way you like to do things, or you've always got that comfort piece of gear you need to bring. This is just some tips on ways to pack basic backpacking gear into a backpack that's going to make it logical for items you need to access throughout the day versus items that you don't need to have at camp, as well as distributing the weight in your pack in a way that's going to work well with the pack suspension and general backpack design. So we'll start with the bottom of the pack here. Sleeping bag is an excellent item to stow in the bottom of the backpack. They're typically bulky and heavy, but they're usually not the heaviest group of items that you're going to carry. So it's usually a good thing to stow in the bottom here. Some backpacks have a zippered compartment at the bottom that you can easily access, some don't. Either way, I would put that sleeping bag in the bottom of my pack. It's going to do a couple of things. One is it's going to give it a nice sturdy base for setting the pack down, as well as building a foundation for all the other items that you're going to stack on top of it. It's also something that you're probably not going to need until you get to camp and are ready to go to bed. So stowing it away in the bottom, and if you don't have access to it, that's fine. You're probably not going to need it. All right, now we get into the main pack bag, the main compartment of the pack, and next item is a tent. Tents are also going to be fairly bulky and heavy items. If you're going with someone else, and you can split that by separating the fly and the tent to one person gets the fly, one person gets the tent, it's going to be the best way to pack it. You can distribute weight that way as well. In this case, I've just me, I've got my one-man tent. It came in a long, skinny sack, which really wasn't conducive to fitting in my backpack in a way that allowed me to pack other items. So what I did is I purchased another stuff sack that I like the size of it better. You could even purchase a compression sack and really compress this and make it even smaller. So don't limit yourself to the stuff sack that your product came in. Think about other shapes and other sizes. So I'm going to take my tent, which is also a bulky item. Doesn't weigh very much, maybe it's like 2 pounds. I'm going to stick that in my pack next. It's going to add to that foundation that the sleeping bag has given me. Note that I also did not pack the tent poles and the tent stakes in with the rest of the tent. So typically the heaviest things you're going to be carrying are probably your food and your cookware, water set aside. So here's my bag of food. You do want to think about putting your heaviest items kind of in this mid-central point of the pack and as close to your back as you want them. You want those heavy items to be kind of right up between your shoulder blades. So I'm going to take my food, and I've kind of got it packed in a way here that it's long and skinny, so it's going to sit right up against my back there. Then I'm going to take 2 other items that fit in here, and instead of laying a long ways, I'm going to stack them in here vertically. Here's my sleeping pad, and here's my stove. They're almost the same shape, kind of this long cylindrical shape, so they pack in there nicely. They also weigh about the same, weighing them out in my hands. And I've got a little cup and bowl set here that I'm going to stack right on top to kind of give me an even platform to finish out packing. So the last items I really have here that are going to take up a lot of room are my clothes. So I've got my bag of clothes here. They're really lightweight, but they're kind of bulky. I do want them up high in the pack because they weigh so little compared to everything else. This does make it a little inaccessible for me to get to my food. So I've made a point to pack all of my dinners and breakfast and stuff I'm going to have in camp in here where I don't need to access it throughout the day, and have taken out my snacks and potentially what I'm having for lunch and pack them into another smaller bag. And we'll put them in another easy-to-reach spot. So I've got my clothes, they're going to fit right on top here. They take up the edge of the room, but they weigh almost nothing, so it's not going to be a lot of weight that's high on the pack that's going to throw me off balance. So now I just have a few remaining items, and most of them are small. I am going to take my tent poles, and I'm going to stick them in this side pocket. It's long verticality against the side of the pack, so it's going to be a safe place to put them, and I don't have to worry about them getting bent. And I've got a compression strap that's going to seal those on there. This pack happens to have some other zippered side pockets here. I would take my tent stakes and put them wherever whatever outside pocket you have. In this case, I put them opposite each other so the weight kind of balances out. I've got a few more comfort items here. They're both relating to sleep. I've got a soft sheet set that goes on my thermarest. I'm going to stick that down here with a sleeping bag as well as a little pillow. Both of these items, I would say if you don't have extra room down here, maybe you've got a larger or bulkier sleeping bag, go ahead and tuck them in down the sides inside the pack somewhere, fill in some of those little nooks and crannies that get created when you put bulkier items in. So we've got the top of our pack here, which is fully loaded. I've got a rain jacket, wind jacket. I might need that during the day. I might want to take it on and off a lot. As I hike going uphill, I might get too hot, want to take it off. Then I might want to put it on again as we go down the other side. So I'm going to stick it here underneath my hood. That way it's in a place where I can grab it pretty quickly if I need to, or if I'm hiking with someone else, I can ask them to just kind of grab it out of there pretty fast. And get my hood adjusted down here so it's nice and secure underneath of there. It's kind of tucked in out of the way, but it's quick and easy access and it isn't taking up any room inside my pack bag. So an important item that I have here is a SteriPen. I use this to treat my water with. And I'm going to stick that either right here in this top pocket or potentially this front mesh pocket. This is going to make it really easily accessible for me, as well as that it can dry here. If I have maybe a larger filter, SteriPen's pretty small, maybe I want to keep that up here in the top pocket where it's out of the way and protected, but I do have quick, easy access to it, so if I get to multiple stream crossings, I can pull it out, filter water, stick it back in, I didn't have to dig into my pack bag at all. I've got a little bag here with some odds and ends in it, a first aid kit, bare bagging line, headlamp. I'm just going to tuck that anywhere on the outside of the pack. It's going to fit in this front pocket well. I might need to get to that first aid kit in a hurry, or I might need to get to my headlamp in a hurry if it's late in the day. Puts all those items in a quick, accessible spot. They could easily have gone in one of these pockets on the top of the hood as well. They don't weigh very much. That leaves me with a side pocket here for my water. And there's plenty of room here. I can tuck, some of my snacks for the day in there, as well as an extra water bottle and some other odds and ends that I'm gonna eat throughout the day as well in these top pockets. And that's how to pack a pack. So there's some basic tips on how to pack a backpack. They're not gonna work for everybody. We've got a lot of different packs and a lot of different equipment out on the market, but hopefully it gives you a good foundation for where to put items in your pack, and hopefully it makes your next trip a little smoother and a little bit more comfortable.